Okay, so the last tutorial I want to show you guys is just how to find your images for the background stencils. So in the example I had in class, the image that I wanted to look for was the dragon, since I was doing the father. And so for this, just to keep things simple, we're not going to go as complex with this stencil as we did with the last one. There's a couple of things that you can do to make this a little bit simpler. So the first one is to add the word silhouette. So if you just add dragon silhouette to this search, and I'm just going to hit images also, it doesn't matter this time the quality of the image like it does with the others. So I don't have to do an advanced search. I still want to save the image and make it the correct size or the size that I'm envisioning, but it doesn't need to be 1,000 by 1,000 this time. So if I put in that word silhouette, you're going to see I'm just going to get outlines here of things. So this is one approach that I could take to it. The other thing that I could do, instead of putting silhouette in, is I could put the word stencil in so that the work was already done for me, and this is going to make more sense to you as we get to the cutting part. But a stencil just means that the pieces are all connected. Now, the thing that I need to point out to you, let's pick this one, is that when you look at something like this, you have to keep in mind that you're going to take a blade, an X-Acto blade, and you are going to cut out every single little tiny black spot that there is. This is crazy complicated. You don't want to do this to yourself. So when you're looking for a dragon stencil, you're probably going to want to find something that is a little simpler. I think I saw this was the one I used, but even this is simpler. Or this is much less cutting than the other. It's still a lot. So you kind of, before you decide on your image for your background, decide like, do I really want to do that much cutting? I don't know. So let's simplify it. I'm going to go with this silhouette instead here. Let's say that I'm going to take this one here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste this. Oops, the only thing I forgot is that I really should be up here doing, click on my tools bar, and I should first use one that's labeled for reuse. I forgot to do that. So let's say I like this one, and this is the dragon that I want to put in the background. So when I take this one is already kind of pixelated, so it's going to be pixelated, but that doesn't matter as much with this one. So I'm going to copy this image, and then once again I'm going to go to my drive, and I'm going to find, and again yours is going to look different than this, but I'm going to find my literacy folder, and then I'm going to put this in my spray paint images folder, and then I am going to open a new document under here. There we go. A new document. And this one is not my emphasis, so I can just call it spray paint picture number 2. But I'm not putting it on the same document that I did before. I want each and every one on a different document. Then I can paste that, right? Now, I can still stretch this and make it the size that I'm imagining. So when I do a print preview, I'll still know, like, okay, if this is the thing that I'm going to use, it's going to take up about 1/4 of the page. That size feels good to me. I'm going to leave it. The only other thing I could do is try to center it in the middle of the page a little bit. So I'm going to hit this one right here so it goes to the middle. And then if it's too close to the top, I may even try to scooch it down just a little bit. So I might try to do something like this, just to make it a little bit lower, because when I cut this out, I want there to be on this one, I want there to be a nice big border. So let me do a print preview so that you can see that. Oh, I didn't go down far enough, so I'm going to go back. Maybe I'll try this. I'll do the top and the bottom. I'll make the top border like 3 inches so that it pushes it down. Now I'll do a print preview. Yeah, that works way better. Okay, so that's what I would suggest to do instead. So now my picture, it's right in the middle of that page, and I can use that. All right, so that one's done. Then I'm going to go back to Google, and I'm going to find my second background stencil, whatever that is, save it to a new Google Doc in the spray paint folder, so that I should have picture number 1 is the emphasis, picture number 2, 3, and 4, or whatever, are going to be your background stencils.